What's up, you freaking geniuses? So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to use the quadratic formula to solve a quadratic equation, right? And you generally want to use the quadratic formula when you have something that you can't factor. Okay, so our problem here is x squared plus 3x minus 5 is equal to 0, right? So the first thing you want to do here is just make sure that this is in standard form. And if you don't remember what that is, it's just this right here. Ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Where a, b, and c are just your coefficients. They're just numbers. Okay, so it looks like up here our equation is already in standard form. So then the next thing we want to do is just identify what a, b, and c are. So let's start with a. So it looks like a is going to be equal to 1, b is equal to positive 3, and c is equal to negative 5 right here, right? So c is equal to negative 5, right? So now that we know what a, b, and c are equal to, now we can plug them into our quadratic formula, which is x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, even though I'm the world's best singer, I'm not going to show off anymore and sing that. And you're like, you were singing? But in any case, I can show you how to solve it. So now that we have our formula right here, now we can plug in a, b, and c into here. All right, so let's figure out what x is equal to. So we're going to get that, and let's write it over here. So we're going to get that x is equal to negative b. So again, b is equal to 3. So we're going to plug in a 3 right there. Plus or minus the square root of b squared. So 3 squared, right? 3 squared minus 4ac. So a is 1 and c is negative 5. So we're going to plug in a 1 and a negative 5. And this is all over 2a, and again, a is equal to positive 1. Okay, so I know this looks ugly, but really this is a beautiful formula. We can keep simplifying this. So we're going to get negative 3 plus or minus the square root of, and 3 squared is equal to 9. And here we have negative 4 times 1 is negative 4, and negative 4 times negative 5 is positive 20, right? So then we get plus 20 right there. And this is all over 2 times 1, which is just 2. Okay, simplifying this a little bit more. Inside the square root, or radical, we have 9 plus 20, which is 29, right? So then we can say that x is equal to negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 29 all over 2. Okay, so here we get two answers, right? We're going to get that x is equal to negative 3 plus the square root of 29 over 2. And we're also going to get that x is equal to negative 3 minus the square root of 29 all over 2. Okay, so let's plug this one into a calculator. You can take the square root of 29 and then add negative 3 to that. And then whatever that is, divided by 2. And then you should get approximately 1.19. Okay, and then same thing on this side. We're going to take negative 3 and then subtract the square root of 29 and whatever that is divided by 2. And then on this side, you should get approximately negative 4.19, right? So then we get two answers, right? 1.19 and negative 4.19. Okay, so hopefully that wasn't too bad. Let's try just one more example. Okay, here's 25x squared minus 8x is equal to 12x minus 4. All right, so again, the first thing you want to do is just make sure that you put this in standard form. So standard form would be ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. All right, this is obviously not in that form. So the first thing we have to do is just move everything to the same side. So let's just move everything to the left side. So let's subtract this 12x from both sides. And this negative 4, let's add 4 to both sides. Add 4. All right, so then on this side, those cancel out and those cancel out. So then on this side, we're just going to be left with a big fat 0, right? And then what are we left with on this side? So we have 25x squared, negative 8x minus 12x is negative 20x, and plus 4, right? Plus 4. And that's, again, equal to a big fat 0, right? So now that it's in standard form, let's identify our a, b, and c values, right? So this is a, b, and c. Okay, so now that we know what those three are, now we can plug them into our beautiful, amazing formula, the quadratic formula. So x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. All right, so then we're going to get that x is equal to, let's see, what's b? So b is equal to negative 20, right? So here we already have a negative sign in our formula, so bring that over. And then again, b is negative 20, right? So we're going to plug in a negative 20 right there for b. And then we're going to get plus or minus the square root of b squared. So b squared, again, is going to be negative 20 squared, right? So negative 20 squared minus 4 times AC. And A is 25 and C is 4, right? So 25 times 25 and times 4. Okay, and again, this is all over 2A, and A is 25, right? So we have 25 right there. Okay, so if we simplify this, let's start with here. So here we have a negative times a negative, which is a positive, right? So then this is going to turn into positive 20. So we're going to get positive 20, and then plus or minus the square root of, let's see, negative 20 squared is equal to 400. And then that's minus 4 times 25 is 100, and 100 times 4 is 400, right? So minus 400. So 400 there also. And then that's all over 2 times 25, which is 50. Okay, 400 minus 400 is equal to 0. So here we just have the square root of 0. And the square root of 0 is just 0, right? So here we're going to have 20 plus or minus 0, right? We can write it out. So we're going to get that x is equal to 20 plus or minus 0, and then that's all over 50. Okay, so we would get two answers, but in this case, we're only going to get one answer, right? Because 20 plus 0 and 20 minus 0 are the exact same thing, right? They're both just equal to 20. So here we really just get one answer. So we just wind up with 20 over 50, right? So that's our only solution. Okay, but we can also reduce this, right? The top and bottom are divisible by 10, so we can actually reduce that down to 2 over 5. Okay, so we get for our final answer that x is equal to 2/5.
So if you found the video helpful, definitely leave a thumbs up down below. And if you have any other questions or want to see any other examples, just let me know in the comment section below.